Daniel, coming from a Balkan background, do you have
Mm.
any external influence, self-belief, skepticism that moving and residing in Bali is not a good idea?
Yeah, 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 I do, mate. When it comes to a Balkan, it doesn't matter whether or not you can speak the language. That is irrelevant. When you grow up in that household, you have to understand that Croatian men, Serbian men, Macedonian men, Bosnian men, even though Bosnians are Muslims, they're all the fucking same. These men are infamous for being quote unquote misogynists. We are infamous for being that archetype. Strong, masculine, many of which are tall. They have the physical and personality traits of that misogynistic archetype. And the reason I'm putting misogynistic in air quotes is because the definition of misogyny is woman hater. You're not a woman hater, but they'll call you that. So when you come to Bali as a Balkan lad with those traditional conservative values, you are going to clash culturally because that type of archetype, that type of man in Bali is not welcome here. You understand? This dominance culture, this virus that we have, this virus that we Balkan people have to fight. This is why, bro, I can't stop. Do you understand? I try not to box. No, we got to do it. If the coaches call me a chicken and I'm cooked, nah, got to do one more round. I can't be called a chicken. You can't call me a chicken, bro. My ego is just, I'm ready to die. Now, I'm very lazy in the gym and my coaches are kind to me. And if they let me go, yeah, okay, we finished the class, good. Can't wait to stop. But if you call me a chicken, this innate Balkan is turned on and we can't handle it, which is why a lot of Balkan men don't understand how to contain their ego. And I actually believe this is why the Balkans or ex-Yugoslavia failed, because there were too many egos going at one another. They are not pragmatic like the Emiratis. They are not strategists like the Emiratis. And this is coming from a package. We are strong, we are passionate, but we moralize too much. This is not fair. This is the way it's got to be. Hrvatska, Serbia. This nationalism is misguided. And if Balkan people could take some tips from the Emiratis, who are more pragmatic and more logical, they would be more successful. If they could just channel that aggression in a way that is more productive and not destructive.
Yeah, usually Balkans, especially Macedonians, they're like that a lot. Alexander the Great was Macedonian.
The Macedonians, man, although they're incredibly similar to Croatians, Slovenians, the Slovenian and the Macedonian are on either end of the spectrum. So the most pragmatic are the Slovenians. The second most pragmatic are the Croatians and Serbians. They're very close. After that, Bosnians, but honestly, Bosnians kind of wedge in between. They can be very different depending on where. Some are very dedicated to Islam, many are not. Many are not.
Got it.
So many of my Bosnian friends, you wouldn't be able to tell between them or a Croatian. But a Macedonian, I don't know if it's genetic or if this is a result of history, but they are very fiery.
Even the women.
They make great friends if they're on your side. They make great friends.
By the way, Croatia was like, no Bosnia, you're not allowed to have a beach. Have you seen that strip? It just covers the whole Bosnia.
You need to be very careful when it comes to talking about what happened in the Balkans, bro. Now you don't understand. You don't understand that this is a relatively modern war. You don't understand the blood that was shed. That you can't really joke about this stuff. You shouldn't
Yeah.
do that because you're going to find yourself in a situation like I found myself in Thailand when I was discussing Scotland versus Ireland, and I had no idea the beef and the IRA and all that stuff. I had no idea. I was a young kid. And I had met someone who fled and was a wanted person, a very colorful character, you could say. And I almost got myself into huge trouble as a kid. And it's like that with Balkan boys. If you go into the wrong room where these Balkan boys are a little bit cooked from the war, or maybe they lost someone in the war, you're going to find yourself in a place that you don't want to be. And let me tell you something about them. When a Balkan hits you, and I'm not just saying this, it's like Islanders. When you get a beat down from a Balkan, it's bad, bro. It's bad. They're bigger, their bones are bigger, their hands are bigger, their heads are bigger. It's bad. And you don't want to make those jokes in future. You don't want those jokes online, because these people are so fixated on their ego. They're very petty. Balkan people are very petty. That if they see you in public, they are willing to go to jail just to knock you out like an Islander. Do not offend Islanders and don't offend Balkans. If you offend a Chinese person, an Indian person, an Emirati, they don't really care. They're not that nationalist to the point where they don't look at this as something that they need to avenge. But a Balkan, if you talk about that war in Yugoslavia and you call them something, like if you call a Croatian a Serb, don't do that. Or call a Serb a Croatian, don't do that.
Well, there's a genocide there, bro. There's a lot of blood, bloodshed.
It was a horrible war on all sides. I'm one of the few people, even though I wasn't born there. I'm a Croatian citizen, but I wasn't born there. I'm one of the few people that looks at this war in a very pragmatic way, much like my father does. They don't have hatred towards certain nationalities. My father's family, the Pekiches, they're very very gentle for as far as Croatians go. But I have met some hotheads, bro.
Yeah, I've met traumatized people, Yugoslavians, and they're just like don't want to talk about it.
They don't want to talk about it because you just can't get into this conversation without, maybe tears coming up. And if you say the wrong thing, no, not good.
Family friends, we've known them for years, and they're like, listen, it was terrible.
Let me just say, I have witnessed a scenario where someone had one too many beers and wouldn't shut the fuck up. And I was there as a kid. And I watched it. And it was bad.
Bad.